We've been talking about this whole situation in New York City, the Manhattan restaurant Bell Fries, where you had those 3 women trashing this woman's restaurant. If you missed part 1 and part 2 of those videos, the link will be below in the description. But yeah, you have the owner of the restaurant. She came out saying they destroyed her restaurant. $25,000 in damages. She called those women destructive animals, but says she was most disgusted by the men who sat around and didn't do anything to defend her employees or her restaurant. That's what we're discussing today. Do you agree with the owner or disagree with the owner? Got a comment here from Big Set Trip, who said the owner of the restaurant is a strong, independent woman and she shouldn't open a business if she can't defend it like every other business in America. Can't be strong and independent while simultaneously being dependent on the ones you wish to be independent from. Also conducted a poll here. What do you think the men should have done in this case? 28% said nothing, but most of you said the men should have called the police to handle the women, and 6% said that the men should have stopped the women. That's 6% who said physically stop the women. 66% says to call the police, and 28% said to stay out of it, do nothing. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take some calls and see where you all stand on this. Caller number 937, what's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Chris, 38, calling from Columbus, Ohio.
All right, Chris. So you heard about the whole situation at Bell Fries. The owner, remember, she said that she was most disgusted by the men who did not stop those women from damaging her restaurant. What do you think about that? Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree, right? I think first and foremost, no man should run around acting like they're Bruce Wayne, right? We don't live in an era of vigilantism. There are some individuals in society that seek to be vigilantes. And as you know, oftentimes they're held accountable by the authorities. Second, that's not the job of a random man. The job of a man is to protect himself and his family. They have police to handle that situation. I also think what is about the curious is that the owner is taking this as an opportunity to throw pot shots at man. So if you're going to throw pot shots at men and throw them under the bus for seemingly no reason whatsoever, how could you then expect them to protect your business?
Right. That's a good point. Now, she said that she had $25,000 in damages. So you're saying they shouldn't have stepped in. What would you advise her to do at this point?
Well, I mean, maybe she may want to relocate her business to another place, right? But if we could just kind of go back once again, if a man did jump in, stop the women who were out of control, if we put it charitably, somebody falls and hits their head. Now they're looking at involuntary manslaughter at the low level, right? So now you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids. You jumped in, try to stop a situation that had nothing to do with you, and now your family's looking at losing a father or husband for 5 to 10 years.
What do you think would have happened, if those men stepped in and they got injured? Would she be paying for things for their family? Or if they got arrested, would she be down there at the jail trying to bail them out?
Right. And as a matter of fact, I had a situation once similar to a woman told me she was accosted by a man. This is a sister who was in a relationship with a white guy. So I said, why don't you have your white boyfriend handle it? She wanted me to go up and punch the guy in the face. And I said, what if the guy doesn't want to be punched in the face? What if he really doesn't want to be punched in the face and he pulls out a gun? Or so let's say I hit the guy and he falls and hits his head and I'm charged with manslaughter. I said, are you going to post my bond? You're going to pay for my lawyer? If I can't get out of jail, are you going to come visit me and show me your... I said, these are real questions I need to ask. What am I getting out of this?
Of course she wouldn't. She'll be going with the wind.
Exactly. It's kind of like the pseudo-feminist ideology of disposable man. In feminist ideology, there's a concept of the disposable male. So you can just pick them up and use them whenever you see fit. And I think this is what's really taking place now. This is what we're really seeing manifest and be articulated in modern society today.
Thank you, Chris, for calling up and giving your opinion on the situation.
No problem.
Yeah, if those men stepped in, they'll still be down there at Rikers trying to figure out how to get out, coming up with the money for bail, and that's if a judge even allowed them to bail out. They have a history of men getting stuck down there. And meanwhile, while they're down there losing their jobs, unable to pay the bills for their households, so now that's impacting their women or kids. While that's all going on, the owner of this restaurant, life is going to go on for her. And she's probably not going to leave her business because 9 times out of 10, she's stuck in a long-term lease. It's only been open for about 2 years, and she could easily be in a 3 to 5 year lease. That's pretty much a standard for commercial. One time for Chris calling up. We're going to go ahead and keep it moving. Caller number 202, what's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Yeah, if that's me, my name is Ray. I'm 32 and I'm calling from DC.
Okay, Ray. So you heard about the situation here. You have the restaurant owner. She did hold the women accountable, but she said that she was most disgusted by the men for not stepping in to protect her employees. What do you think about that?
I definitely don't agree with that at all. You don't know who the women who were destroying the restaurants, you don't know who they know. They could have known someone that was in the crowd the second that you step in, now that you're in trouble. You don't know how they will react towards you. You don't know what they're carrying, what kind of weapons, whether they have like pepper spray, mace, tasers, or whatever. You're also not given the same protection as law enforcement would. You don't have qualified immunity. So if something were to happen and you were to be sued, you would just be asked out, and no one, you'd have to, now you're in financial trouble because now you need to get a lawyer and go through all of this stuff. No, the business should have insurance. So any of the property that was destroyed should be recoverable by whatever insurance that they have. And after everything is said and done, like the one lady I believe is still in Rikers Island or something like this, her family could want some kind of retaliation for this. And more than likely, everybody who was in that store was either in walking distance or public transportation distance to this place. So that means that now you have to watch your back every time you go out, because you never know, like I said in the first point, who they know, and they may want to get revenge for what you've done. Call 911, have the law enforcement handle that. Yeah, I just wanted to give those 2 points. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for calling up. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Ray made a really good point. They are not law enforcement. They're civilians. So they don't have the same protections. There's no stand your ground in New York. Okay, so we have another call here. Next call is coming from 491. What's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Hi, PBL. My name is Adobe, and I'm calling you all the way from Germany.
Hey, Adobe, you're in Germany. Okay, thank you so much for calling up. What do you think about this situation?
I feel like I have mixed feelings, because I do agree that you don't know who knows who, it's a bit dangerous to step in. But I do think that there's kind of like a problem with this voyeurism, with people just getting entertained by these women going crazy and bringing out their phones. If I was there, I would have been terrified. Definitely not thrilled by it, but I thought the people that were watching looked to be seeing these women act crazy. So that's why I sort of have mixed feelings. I get where she's coming from, but I also get the idea that these men shouldn't step in, because I know you've covered a story where this lady went to tell her boyfriend some other guy was hitting on her or arguing with her, and he got shot. So yeah, it's a mixed bag for me, is what I'd say.
That happens all the time, where you have men stepping in to defend women, especially women they don't even know, and then they're hit with charges, or worse, they lose their lives defending some craziness. Now, the woman, the owner of the restaurant, she said that she didn't like how it was 20 plus people sitting up there cheering it on. I didn't agree with them cheering it on, but she said that she wanted them to physically step in and stop them. I don't think that was their business to stop them.
Me too. Honestly, I'm with you on that. I don't think, it's kind of funny, because women say that we can do battle by ourselves, but then we expect men to protect us. So I'm not, it would be nice, but of course we live in a society where women are supposed to be independent, you know what I mean? So I don't agree with them stepping in, but I honestly felt very uncomfortable with cheering and the laughing and the recording. It was very, and I'm not American, so I'm black, but I'm not American, so this culture is very strange to me to watch, when people are fighting, and instead of trying to get the cops or something, you're thrilled looking at people fighting. So,
but which one do you think is worse, the people cheering or what the women did?
Oh, no question, the women were crazy. I saw the video and I was speechless, really. I mean, of course, what they did takes the cake. I really had no words when I saw it, because I only saw it when you covered it, and I was like, that's where it's so funny because my culture is so different. This doesn't even happen, but I noticed that this is just one that made the news, like several stories, probably because I lived in New York, so I know how crazy New Yorkers can be. So of course what they did takes the cake, no question about that.
Shout out to you calling from Germany. My dad is a vet and my family was stationed in Germany for a number of years. So shout out to you for calling from Germany.
I love you, PBL. I love you so much. Like, I watch all your videos. I love your commentary. I especially love your accent. Like when you do the videos where you hardly speak, I really don't watch those. But the ones where you have like a long commentary, I can watch it like 3-4 times. I just love the way you speak, you talk. I'm such a huge fan.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you for calling in, and have a great day, and feel free to call again.
Blessings to you and yours.
All right. Okay, so she was calling from Germany. Let's go ahead and get to the next call. Caller number 323. What's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Hi, I'm Alejandro. I'm from California.
All right, Alejandro, what do you think about the situation here? You have the owner of the shop coming out saying that she was disgusted by the men the most for not stopping the women from trashing her restaurant.
Yes, I see that. I see why she's disgusted. She probably wants someone to help her in her situation. But I think there's a little more issue than just a bunch of people just wanting the damn sauce or destroying stuff. There's a little more problem I see.
Okay, talk about it.
Well, she said she wanted the guys to step in and fight. And I can tell you that, security, we really can't touch people because if they get harmed, there's a lawsuit. Well, if she wants guys to step in, we're going to have to, start encouraging or start respecting people who actually do stand up and stop these types of madness. If they want guys to step in and handle it, well, we got to make sure that, we're not going to be scrutinized or demonized. The culture's got to change as a whole. Start boys young, or start showing in the news how people stop crazy people from acting out or harming people. And that's how you fix the situation over time.
It's just funny to me how these strong, independent women, they don't need men. But when you have a situation like this pop off, she's looking for men with no interest in her restaurant besides being a patron, a customer, to step in and protect. Why not just hire security?
Security is expensive. Plus, majority of times, nothing happens and they're just there, just standing around. But inflation is pretty high right now and they have to charge the sauce just to make up a profit. Do you think she can afford that?
So do you think that men, the customers, they should act as security because she can't afford it? What do you think about that?
Well, again, you run to the whole if the guys even touch her. And plus, if the guys did step in, I'm willing to bet that someone else will step in to attack the men as well if they try to defend the owner. Even in a baseball game, this girl was constantly hitting the guy, but as soon as he struck back, the other guys just jumped in.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I'm not sure if y'all remember, but Maria, she was one of the ladies working there that night. That was her biggest fear, that one of her male co-workers would step in to stop the girls. And she thought another man from the crowd would step in to defend the girls, and it will make it worse. All right, so thank you, Alejandro, for calling up.
Take care,
definitely call again. All right, bye-bye. We're going to move on to the next call. Caller number 803. What's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
My age, I'm 42. I'm calling from South Carolina.
All right. So what do you think about this situation?
Well, ma'am, how I feel about the situation, how can you blame men for a situation that didn't concern them? Because at the same time, you didn't hold those women accountable for tearing up your shop. Why didn't you hire security? And, it has become bad that, men are getting blamed for things that don't concern them. Because how about guys that did jump in to stop, and you never know who these females might have called that, I got assaulted by this guy jumped in, then it's been a whole nother mess. And my thing with her was, why did you blame men? I feel like she's more of a feminist woke, and I feel like, Could she be them type to talk about toxic masculinity now that your shop got tore up? Now you need males to jump in to defend it?
Right. Random men at that. They're customers. They came there to eat, not to fight for your restaurant.
And ma'am, I can remember growing up, yes, men used to jump into a lot of situations to help a lot of women and stuff. Nowadays, you can't blame men for not jumping in, because you just had a situation in New York where the bodega owner had to stab this guy up because of what this female did, and to come and find out because you didn't have money for enough for the EBT. In situations like that, it just, no, it's not all women, because there are women like you, those who are holding people accountable. Just like you have men that hold men accountable. Thank God for the women like you that are holding women accountable, and especially with our people, it's just ridiculous. And for them, how they act and tore up that shop over some sauce. No, that behavior, no women need to be held accountable for their actions. Because you got to remember, one of them slapped a police officer after they got arrested, before they got arrested.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. She slapped that police officer, Ozaria. What if she would have slapped one of the men who jumped in to defend the employees? And then that man retaliated against her. And then, next thing you know, NYPD, they pull up and they see marks on her from him defending the employees in the restaurant, and then having to turn around and defend himself. You see, that's a whole mess.
And not to mention, I hate to say this up about New York, and not all of New York, but when you look at videos of females jumping on guys, and when guys go back to fight them, oh, don't hit her, that's a female. Listen here. You act like a woman, you get treated like a woman. I don't believe in hitting nobody, but I do believe in self-defense. Everybody got the right to defend themselves.
I covered another story just like that Dollar Tree story in Irvington. I think it was Irvington, New Jersey. The manager of the store, she went ham on him. He didn't even defend himself, but as soon as they got to the ground, everybody just jumped on him. Y'all didn't care about her pulling his hair around this whole time?
Because I knew that was me. And I'm getting hit. I'm getting into a physical altercation. I'm going to defend myself. And anybody that touches me, yeah, we're going to fight, because guess what? You're now holding her accountable for her actions. Because I'm like this: is that female who slapped that cop? Is she's going to get charged and punished? Because I knew that was a male. Oh, he was going to get punished. It's just about sister thing. It's just about accountability and responsibility. And thank God for the sisters like you that are out there say there are good men out there. But you're running them away. When you're running the good men away, you're running them away from the good women. Because there are good women out there that need those good men. They need each other.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you so much for calling up, and definitely call again. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you, ma'am.
All right, we're going to take another call here. Caller number, what is this? Caller number 716. What's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Hi, Candy 43.
All right, Candy, where are you calling from?
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. So we got a New Yorker in the house. So what do you think about this situation? She blamed the men for not stepping in.
Yeah, I have to kind of agree with the last caller. Most women out here today are modern women, feminists. So therefore, she's the type of woman more than likely that's quite liberal, to say the least, and toxic towards men. So I don't feel no ways about her, and I feel like if she wants protection, she's gonna have to pay for it now. So that's her problem.
Right, she had the money to open up the business. She's gonna have to figure out how to get the money to pay for those security officers. We had a previous caller, Alejandro. He was saying the reason why she probably didn't have security was because she couldn't afford it. But what do you think about that? That sounds like a personal problem to me, but maybe I'm tripping.
Right. And the thing is, I live in upstate New York, so we don't have those problems, thankfully. I'm not saying, it's perfect or anything like that, but I watch their news quite regularly, and they know what's going on out there. They know that their mayor, they know who he is, they know the DA, and they know that those people are not there to protect them, that they're protecting the criminals. And the sad thing is, if you go around and ask New Yorkers what's going on, half the time they look at you like you're crazy or say everything's going okay because they're so oblivious until something happens to them. but it's their city. And it's like a lot of people don't know what's going on in the world, you know? So, and they think ignorance is bliss until it happens to them.
It's like folks, they don't even care until it's at their front door.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I just say, I mean, and then they want to walk around, they want to be anti-gun and, you know, all this kind of things and talk about caseworkers and stuff like that. Well, where was the caseworker, you know, then? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't see no caseworkers coming to the scene with these cops. They want to do everything but hold the right people accountable. And the only ones that are to blame are those monsters that tore up her store. And I personally, if I was a worker, I would have been and snatched one of them. Now, I'm not fighting for no, you know, for no money or nothing like that. I'm not fighting to protect anything, but I don't know. I mean, that just did something to me. There's so much hair going on. I would have been and grabbed somebody by the hair and flung them around.
They just basically allowed those women to throw stuff at them. A bottle?
Yeah, right. And the thing is, you can't be that scary and not have protection. I mean, y'all didn't think to have, like somebody said, bear mace. I don't care, bear mace, regular mace, whatever. A bat, anything in New York City? Come on now.
The woman employee, she said that she had never been in a situation like that. She said she's barely 5 feet tall and she just didn't know what to do. And so I guess with that happening and then, you know, the owner not having any security there, and this is in the wee hours of the morning, open at 4 a.m. Like, I'm not saying she has to have security around the clock. She should probably have security overnight to protect her employees, because you can't expect for everyone to be able to reach out and touch somebody. You know, some people like Maria, she's like, I can't do nothing. So, you know.
Right. I mean, they can't control a rat problem. So how the hell you going to control this crime problem if they can't even get their rats under control?
Uh-oh. I know you ain't say the rats. Oh.
I'm just saying.
He said it cannot control a rat problem. Well, thank you for calling, Candy, and I hope you have a great day. Candy up there in upstate New York, she's trying to start this mess with the people of NYC, basically saying they can't get these hyenas together because first they have to get control of their rat problem. Like, really, Candy? But no, shout out to Candy for calling up and everyone else who called as well. Got a lot of you who commented here. DJ People says, as a business owner, you have to foresee these types of situations happening. If that means hiring a form of security to protect your business assets, so be it. But it is not a customer's responsibility to help keep order in a restaurant. It's the owner's. That's true. Jack Secondary says, it's not our job to neutralize wild animals from destroying property. That's what police are for. You want it done quicker? Invest in bear mace. Aggressors go from tough to not so tough in a matter of seconds. And then JV here says, although it's not my responsibility, if I were a loyal customer and patron, heck yeah, I would. You are not walking into my resting space and getting away with it. So JV said he's willing to risk it all for the restaurant. Bull Walker says she should have called her husband. And Inside Convo says no, it's been clear for several years that women are independent and don't need men to do anything. We have accepted this, now deal with your own business. Just to give you an update on the women, Ozaria, she was locked up on Rikers for over a week. She was able to get somebody to give her a couple $1,000s to bail out. So now she's out. She and the other 2 women, they will be heading back to court in a month from now. You know, women are always talking about how they don't need men. They can make their own money. You have a 23-year-old woman here with a restaurant in New York City. She can afford to open up a brick and mortar business in a city where the real estate, the rent is very high. One thing that she did not think about was security, was protection. And that's most modern women. They don't think about protection. Recently here, we talked about a woman who said that she didn't need a man, that men didn't really do anything, but she had to do everything for him, like cook and clean. If you missed that video, you're going to want to check it out. I talked about how men are expected to provide protection to women, and that protection that we're talking about regarding relationships, that's worth everything. Having a man that's expected to defend you at any moment, willing to risk his life and freedom, that's worth cooking, cleaning, everything. But you see, these feminists, they don't think about that. They don't understand how much protection is needed until they need it. You literally have to put them in a situation where they're unprotected, where they realize they can't defend themselves. And this right here is against other women. We're not even talking about men. But when you put them in that situation, that's when they realize that they need these men that they don't value to come and rescue them. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. These women are so strong. They're so independent. They're starting businesses. Why do you think it is that they don't think they need protection? Special thank you to Wesley, Ricardo C, and O'Deary. I appreciate you for your support. Want to see more content like this? You can support the channel too. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.